Ludlow Battery Ignition, well-known name in the Dayton area for many years. This is in 1948. My mother's father, Daniel Walshuk, which is this gentleman right here, he worked for this company. They all come in suits, Grandpa would say, and then they get to work and they change into their work gigs. And then at the end of the day, they'd all get back in their suits and then go to a bar. It was right down the street. It was right down there. But as time went on, you know, this business got smaller and smaller. Grandpa bought it and turned it into a Radiator supply chain, cleaning, repairing tanks, and things of that nature. Fast forward to when Dad purchased it in '77. Dad had a company called Advanced Carburetor and Ignition. His idea was all the little gas stations that had the repair shops were going away, and he was going to open up an ignition shop, carburetor shop. When Grandpa decided to open another business, Dad bought the Ludlow Radiator and tied in the ignition, put them all together. So he had Ludlow Radiator and air conditioning. Did everything pretty much that Ludlow Battery did that added air conditioning. We put in air in cars that didn't have it, which in the 70s and the 80s, mid-90s, everything came with air conditioning. Back in the 70s and 80s, there wasn't, you know, it was an option. So they would put these units in there and they kind of worked, you know. They weren't the most efficient things by any means. And then in '84, Dad opened Ludlow Wireless. It was the first Ameritech dealer in Ohio. His buddy worked for Ameritech and said, "Hey Joe, you might want to put phones in cars." And you know, Dad was like, "I ain't putting no phones in cars." He's like, "Listen, Joe, you're gonna want to put these phones. I'm just telling you, it's gonna be the future." Well, he did very well. So when we sold, remember the brick phone?
Yeah.
Look how much the car charger was for. This is in 1985. That's just the charger for the phone. Look, Lee Trevino's on the back. It's still in the packaging. When we sold in '06, I think it was 18 stores he had. He made a decision to get out of it, and as soon as he did, the market went to shit. He always had, I'm telling you, he had good timing. I don't know what about his timing was, but he always knew when to get out or when to get in, one of the two, you know. And I've tried to pick up some of those traits, but I haven't found him yet, you know. I think I've done all right, but he taught me a lot. He taught me a lot on how to work on cars, but as watching him as a businessman, he's helped me a lot get along so far. You know. Sold the wireless company, and he started the Blad Boys Muscle Cars, and I still had the automotive shop. We were in the same building. The building downtown was beautiful, but it was not where I wanted to be. Downtown was dead at that point in time for me. I started looking in '09, I moved in here in '11. So it took me a couple of years to find something that I wanted. The only piece of equipment I brought was the 1-2 post lift. Yeah, so I only had 2 lifts when I moved in here. I had 3 mechanics in here, you know, after like 3 months of being in here. It was myself, Dan, and then Chase was here. And then I had a 4th, at least 4 or 5 times I've had a 4th guy that just never worked out. But we lost Chase, and now we got Jimbo, and they're equivalent to me. They both are really hard-working guys. But I really need another guy. I've talked to you about this before, is the old cars is what I want to work on. And they take up a lot of time. You know, there isn't, the old cars, there's no book to open and tell you, you know, this pays this. You know, this car has been together for 50 years. You know, it's not going to come apart like you want it to, right? So, but I have to work on it, and I just haven't had, I don't feel like I get a chance to work on it. I can't make the deadline. Otherwise, I won't be able to do anything else. I mean, I could try to meet their deadlines, but I have a family, you know, other things I would like to do.